Welcome, Rajiv Chopra Photography, another Lightroom CC tutorial, going deeper this time into masking and distraction removal. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, press the subscribe button, comment, and give me a thumbs up. See you, and see you next time as well.
Hello everyone, Rajiv Chopra here, and I'm gonna take you through two very quick edits to demonstrate just a few more tools in Lightroom Cloud. And these tools are again largely, well, in the first image, the tool is about masking, so I'm going to only focus on masking, and in the second tool, I will only focus on people removal and or distraction removal, and I will also show you the blur function. To save your time, I have already put the images through the optics and the denoising, so let's get into it. Okay, so this is the first image, and again, this image is an image I photographed in Benares. Not particularly sharp because the atmosphere was hazy, as I have mentioned. There are people sitting on the boat out here, and I photographed this in the morning. I much prefer to sit on these boats than on the new fancier boats that have come up. And on the other side of the shore, in the distance, you can see a few more boats. If you don't like the boats in the distance, you can crop them out, which you can access the crop tool by either clicking this icon or by pressing the shortcut C. So I press C, and if I want, I can remove, and I can change the aspect ratio by clicking this downward facing arrow, and I can make it a square crop if I want to. I can make it 4:3. I can flip it into a 3:4, a 16:10 if I want to. And again, I change the crop area by clicking these angles. So that's the crop. All right, so let me exit out by pressing this tool to reset. Or I can actually rotate the image by pressing this, flip it around, as you can see, flip it this way. I can change the geometry by leveling it, and there's a very slight leveling that has taken place. And you can of course do something more, which is to make it guided, and that's a pretty powerful tool as well. All right, so let's again leave this for now, and let me jump straight into the masking. So again, I press M for the masking, and I did not show you the linear gradient, so you can get the linear gradient by pressing L. So here we go. I will take the gradient up. Now, if you want to keep the gradient, you press Command Z or Control Z if you want to undo an action. You will click the Shift button, and then your lines will go up in a straight horizontal or vertical line, or whichever angle you've chosen. Now, if you look at this crop, you can see that the overlay fades from deepish red to a very light red, and that's the fading, that's the feathering rather. Now I can reduce the feathering by actually reducing this area. I can rotate this if I want to and flip it around, and wherever you see the overlay, the red overlay, that's where the edit will take place. So let's have some fun or should we not have some fun? And if I want to rotate again, and you will rotate it by only manipulating the center line. All right, so I've done that, and now I can go and do whatever I want. I can change the edit, make it something crazy like that. I can increase the whites if I want to. I can make it totally foggy if I want to. So that's just a demonstration of the linear gradient. Now I can press the three little buttons if I want and go down and delete the mask. The next mask here is the radial gradient, which you're going to get if you press the letter R. So the radial gradient, I will draw the gradient like that, and I made it an oval. And again, anything that's inside is selected, and I can actually change the feathering by moving this inner circle or inner oval in or out. The greater the distance between the outer and the inner, the more the feathering. And again, if I want, I can right click. No, that doesn't work. I have to actually press this button to invert. And when I invert the gradient, that everything inside is now not going to be edited. So let's now make everything outside dark. As you can see, it's given this nice strange little effect. All right. So again, I'm going to delete the mask. I'm going to press the radial mask again. And now if I press Shift and I pull, I get a perfectly round or circular mask. All right, so remember that. Shift, you get a round or circular mask. And the same way in the linear gradient, you press Shift and you're going to get a straight line mask. I mean, a straight line as in whichever angle you've chosen, perfectly horizontal, perfectly vertical, or whichever way. And here we go. All right, so again, I'm going to delete this mask. Delete all masks. All right, done. The third I want to show you is the object selection, which you'll get by pressing S. Now I just draw or I paint over the boat if I want to select the boat. And as you can see, I'm not being particularly careful here. Oops. Whoops. Whoops. And now Photoshop is going to do its magic, and it has selected the boat for me. So that's the other way that you can make a mask, and you can have some fun with it. So again, let me delete this mask. So now you can have some fun with this. And here again, if I want, I can press landscape and get everything but the boat. Sorry, I pressed background, not landscape, I pressed background. And again, as you can see from the overlay, everything but the boat has been selected. I can add, if I want, to this particular tool by taking the brush and adding something here. And now my overall mask is this. Okay. So again, I'm going to delete all the masks. Then the other one, so let's go back to another image here, which you saw yesterday. If I now decide to choose, again, I'm going to the masks. Oopsie. And now I can say create a mask, and I can choose the sky, and it is only going to select the sky. There you go. It's not always perfect, because if there's a sharp border between the sky and the horizon, then the selection is perfect. But if the border is fuzzy, it's not so great. All right, so here we have it. And then there, of course, in this particular case, there's the landscape. Doesn't really have a landscape here, but it selects mountains and other stuff like that. All right, so you have water. It selects the water, the natural ground, which is at the back, So I can choose the water if I want to. And this is different from the background because in the background it shows everything but this. All right, so I'm going to cancel out of that. Oops, cancel. And now my computer is going to make me wait. So instead of making you wait, I'm going to ripple delete this section of the video. All right, so now let's move to the last image again. Let me start with I'm going to press E as a reminder. It takes me into the edit panel. I go to lens blur. And first I will press apply. And here I will choose, first Photoshop does its calculations to estimate the depth. And you have to wait, and I can choose various bokeh options if I want to. So here I can choose this one. Now this one tells me I can firstly press this to visualize the range. Everything that is yellow is in focus. Everything that's before that is not so much in focus, and everything that's behind it goes into the bokeh. I can actually reduce the amount of the depth that I want to keep. And here we go. All right, blur amount. I'm going to increase the blur amount just to make it obvious here. Absolutely ridiculous, but as you can see, it's been done. Okay, I'm going to cancel out by pressing if I click apply, I get the blur. If I don't, okay, I don't need to visualize the depth. So have a look now. You see this is completely blurred. I click out and it starts to come back into focus. Focus on his legs here. Blur, blur, and I unclick this. Now typically I would not do this in the beginning of an edit unless I want to export this as a JPEG. If I'm going to export this image at the end, if I'm going to edit the image in Photoshop, I might use the lens blur at the end. So the lens blur is one way of actually making sure that your viewer's eyes focuses on the subject. Don't make it as extreme as this, because that's clearly artificial. Give the background some depth, but you see I've separated this man from the background. All right, and again I can choose various, and let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So different kinds of bokehs. This is the normal bokeh. So I'm going to click out of this. All right, now let's go to the remove tool. Okay, so you get it by pressing R. Now remember, this R is different from the R that you get in the masking tool. For the masking tool, first you will press M, and then you will press the shortcut R to get the radial gradient, or you will press L to get the linear gradient, or S to get the object, or B to get the brush. So you first have to enter the masking panel by pressing M, and then you will press R or S or L or whatever. To get to the remove tool, you will press R straight away. So first I'm going to remove something using this particular tool. So let's remove. Now this is an AI based tool. So now that I have used this, it's going to remove this area. Sometimes it does a good job, sometimes it does a bad job. So you just have to live with it. And it gives you 3 options. 1, option 2, option 3. So let's stay with option 1, and I can regenerate the thing. So I'm going to regenerate it. Yuck, I don't like any of them. Okay, so let's stay with this, and I'm going to run the mask again. Okay, remove. So now you wait and you wait, and I much prefer this. So you can see option 1, option 2, option 3. So let's stay with option 2. There you go. Now we can remove distractions, which may be these people, and I will press people here. It will now detect the distractions. It will detect the distractions. Give it some time. Be patient. There you go. And I have removed it. And it's now going to remove these people. Boom. And they have gone. Now that I've done this, you see this AI status wheel or AI edit status has turned yellow, which means I need to update the AI status because I have changed something. I had started with by denoising, so I will click and you can see remove. So I can click this or I can say update all. Once I say update all the settings are updated and life goes on without a problem. So let's wait. And let's wait. So you see now it's being grayed out again. I will press E again. I'm going to press the adaptive color. Actually, and now my edit is done. It's been a very quick edit. In this particular edit, sorry, I'm not happy with this. He has lost detail in his beard, so I'm going to press M for the mask. I will press B for the brush. I will brush just this area, just that's it. Go to effects, add some clarity, add some texture. Maybe I'll go to detail and press the sharpness, and suddenly find that his beard has become normal again, and I'm back. So this now is the end of this section of Lightroom Cloud. I will send you these files and follow along. Follow the edits as I have done them. In the next video, I am going to show you two things. The first is the presets and profiles. You can access the presets and profiles by pressing Shift P, and I will also demonstrate black and white editing or getting into black and white in Photoshop Cloud. So see you next time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe I will not be in my night suit at that time. Maybe I'll be in my regular clothes. So see you all. Ciao. Have fun. Do the exercises. Bung in a comment. Yeah, do bung in a comment. Press the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Ciao. See you.